It's all because of Him that we are who we are and that we know who we are. As Bishop preached so well and taught us last night, that it's important to know who we are. And we know who we are. We know what we've got to do. I predict in the next 5 years, by the time we hit our 10th anniversary, and I don't say this lightly, but we will be ruling the nation. And the government shall be upon His shoulders. And then peace can come to this nation. And just let me tell you this quickly as you ever see. And I'll explain a little bit more tonight. But I feel very strongly in my heart that the word of the Lord came to me very strong and stronger over this weekend. That this will actually be the first nation historically in the world to be under the governance of God. I mean true governance, true kingdom authority expressed through the people of God and through our political orders. So we're going to have a fantastic time tonight, but right now it's our awesome privilege to introduce you to somebody.
He made a declaration that in 5 years you shall be ruling and reigning in this nation. That means you control the wealth. That means you control the riches. That means you control the politics. That means you control the social order. That means that you are in charge. Touch your neighbor and say, it happens because of order. That's it.
Can't take it back. Also because of the drugs. They ration them out to make the costs as low as possible. Because the kids are nothing more than just merchandise. That also has an impact on their mental state. One boy slashed his wrists. He couldn't take it. All that manhandling and the kind of life he had there. They did save him, of course. But he was sent for spare parts. The drugs put children in such extreme psychotic state that they hurt themselves. The kids' clients are very rich. They even come in their own private jets and helicopters from fuck who knows where. They are picked up at different locations, filthy rich. They pay a fortune to spend time with a child. Everything's arranged with the medical team. They know the child will not survive. And if it becomes crippled for life, nobody's going to look after it. So it immediately becomes an organ donor. Those brothels have branches all over the world, with operating rooms. They are high security sites. Few people know about them. There are no regular brothels. We're talking about huge money here, so they are perfectly organized. It's not just some dude or madam sitting there. It's all professionally set up.
Like a corporation?
Yes, like a corporation.
Do those people believe in Satan? How do they worship him? Are they deep in that occult shit?
It's a sect. Those people don't even greet each other when they greet each other.
If anyone causes one of these little ones that believe in me to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. This is the only passage in the Bible in which Jesus Christ says that a man who corrupts a child should better kill himself.
As complex as a corporation, there must be a medical team on standby. Someone must look after those kids. Someone must organize. The transplants and everything. There must also be someone that helps them. Search clients for the organs out. It will continue. The demand is huge and it won't change.
To stop me from saving the child, the devil struck at the mother. Darkness that the mother colluded with turned against her and pushed her into depression. At some point, the mother told us she wanted to kill herself and the baby.
Enter your login. Your login is an email address that has been set up for the sake of this conversation.
What's the address?
The address is greatass2020@hotmail.com. Then you need to enter a password to your Skype account. It starts with a capital letter, demoralization, and you're in. Your nickname, your fake Skype first and last name is Gray Zone. He will...
Gray Zone has already been set up?
Yes.
I don't have to do anything?
Exactly. This is your first and last name, Gray Zone. You will receive an invitation from him. You won't see his login, only his nick, Eminence Germany. The guy needs to feel safe. He's also afraid.
Weeks passed, but the Skype conversation didn't come through. Why does he keep postponing our interview? Is it so hard to set up?
I received a message. It was on Sunday or Saturday. Was it Friday? I can't remember exactly. On Friday. Or on Saturday, he sent me a message that he was very sorry, but he had to go away to pick up some merchandise. I figure he wasn't going to pick up a cardboard of smokes or vodka, but he was going to pick up a child. For him, a living child, a living human being is merchandise. He doesn't even call a child, he calls it merchandise, because that's what it is for him. It's an object that can be monetized. He'd sell his own mother for organs if she wasn't so old. No one wants her organs anymore.
Does he have his own child?
Yes, a son.
Do you think he has any human feelings for him?
No, because for what I know, his son cooperates with him. So it's more of a business partnership rather than a father-son relationship.
So his son kidnaps children too?
He delivers them. Despite the fact the whole thing takes place in Germany or in the Netherlands. There are organized rings here that work non-stop like ants to track those women.
That's the way.
What's the term?
A dolly, usually.
Does the gender matter? Or are boys called that too?
It matters. Merchandise is usually used for the boys. Then I can see the nose and the eyes of a cute little doe before my face. Those little pets look so sweet.
Where you often go back to the same issues in order to establish the truth.
I found about 500 such girls on the internet. If a mother goes abroad to give her child up for adoption, the mother ends up in a brothel, and she gets hooked on drugs. And so does the child see each other. It happens that they even tear infants apart with their dicks. terrorists in that room.
On the run for 17 years, Katsuyu Takahashi, the last remaining fugitive implicated in the 1995 Tokyo sarin gas attacks, has been arrested south of Tokyo. He's wanted for his suspected involvement in the Shinriko cult and the gas attacks that killed 13 people and injured 6,000. The 54-year-old is alleged to have driven a fellow cult member to a train station who released deadly gas during the morning rush hour. Police eventually caught up with Takahashi, who had a 10 million yen bounty on his head, thanks to information from another suspect and cult member. This man said the arrest comes as a huge relief, as many people were still afraid of travelling on trains. According to local reports, a total of 13 people from the Shinriko cult
They often get beaten up. Torn apart. Organs, buttholes.
Do you mean those little babies get their legs pulled out?
Yes.
So it's sadism.
Yes, sadism. Infants always suffer. They all do. Do you know I wanted to fucking end my life? I really wanted to fucking do it. I called my kid. I called my son. And I told him, these are the last words you'll hear from me. I already cut my wrists, you know. Because of our conversations, I cut my wrists. I fucking cut my wrists. I'm sorry. In Muslim countries, papers are easy to get. For 50 local dollars, you can get any document you want. Changing the first or last name is not a problem. And so any trace of the child is lost.
What then?
They go to Egypt for a couple of days. They get new papers through some formal correction of the name and the last name in a matter of hours. And the child returns as a completely different person. It returns to Europe, to the brothel, and no one is ever looking for that child again. The trace is lost. A child had left. It had a name and a last name, and a different person came back to Europe later. They think they'll get rich, but are unaware they're on their way to a brothel. They don't know what'll happen to them, or that they'll get hooked on drugs or lose their freedom. Do you know what I felt while recruiting those girls? I didn't give a shit about those girls and their kids. All I cared about was the money.
Op jonge leeftijd te hebben verkracht. En nu denkt met mij op seksvakantie naar Duitsland te gaan. En dan blijkt hoe duister zijn macabere seksfantasieën zijn met de 10-jarige Laura.
Perfect. Wat heb je mee? Ik heb een beetje taal. Het is heel grappig. Kartoorans.
Ja, net als een mes. Goed, maar dan iets dat eruit. En je kunt er echt zo een beetje lagerig mee. Dat kun je echt zo kunnen stimuleren.
Oh, dat moet je ook even laten zien. Wacht even. We moeten met Laura gewoon even moeten kijken hoe ver we kunnen gaan.
Ik ben benieuwd naar zijn vrouw. Wat weet zij van zijn sadistische pedofiele kant?
En wat heb je nou tegen je vrouw verteld?
Nou ja, ik heb gezegd dat ik peper heb. En zij weet het.
Ah, ja. Oh, dat is
dus daar kan ik het altijd uitsteken.
Oh, wat leuk.
Het is een avontuurtje.
Ah, oké.
Natuurlijk, maar weet ze dat.
Nee. Maar dat moet ze ook niet weten.
Nee, best niet.
Het wordt al snel duidelijk dat Mark zeer serieus is in zijn voorstellen. Deze kans wil hij zeker niet laten glippen.
Hij dacht, ja, maar hij probeert.
Ik zou wel met verwijten van teleurstelling als ik me zou kunnen.
Want seks met een 10-jarig meisje, dat hij het liefst ook zou willen martelen, is voor hem een gouden kans. Alleen haar leeftijd staat hem een beetje tegen.
Ja, bij mij maakt dat ook jonger hoor, maar wat 13 jaar eigenlijk al wel. Ja, als borst. Dus dat is wel een klein vrouwtje. Die is perfect hoor. Zo eventjes. Ik ook een beetje tegen mijn zin, maar ik zou wel nee zeggen dat de kans zou krijgen. Ik had er van die foto's waar ze op een stoel gebonden zijn.
Ja, die heeft het.
Het zijn de kinderpornofoto's die veelvuldig te vinden zijn op een pedoforum. Het Duitse Vlagbroestkanaal op het anonieme Tor-netwerk. Een foto van een vastgebonden kind dat op het punt staat seksueel misbruikt te worden. Een misselijkmakende foto die stond bij het bericht waar ik weken geleden op reageerde. Waarna ik contact kreeg met de Belgische pedofiel die nu bij mij aan tafel zit. Hij wil kleine meisjes als lustpop gebruiken, als slaaf pijnigen en misbruiken, tot haar onvermijdelijke dood erop volgt. En vandaag heeft hij de folterspullen bij zich, omdat hij denkt vanavond zijn prooi te vinden.
Maar was het vlakkoers? Voor mij betaald gewoon.
Ja, dat is een bekende foto. Dat vind ik echt leuk om eens uit te proberen.
Ja.
De man die vertelde zijn eigen kinderen te hebben verkracht, is nog niet helemaal gerust op een goede afloop.
Ik geloof ook, ja, als we zo niet een Duitse politiewagen zien ergens in de buurt.
Ja.
Ik ben echt paranoïde.
Echt waar?
Ja, deels wel. Daar voel ik me relatief veilig.
Het wordt de allerhoogste tijd om deze pedofiel te confronteren. Ik ga naar het toilet om de cameraploeg in te lichten dat we zo meteen naar buiten komen. Als ik terugkom is de cameraploeg op het parkeerterrein aangekomen en wacht daar tot ik naar buiten kom om deze viespeuk te confronteren. Deze gestoorde pedofiel denkt dat we naar onze seksbestemming, de 10-jarige Laura, vertrekken. Hij weet nog niet dat we daar nooit zullen aankomen.
Zullen wij aansluiten? Yes.
Wat de sadistische Belgische pedo ook niet weet, is dat ik een aantal dagen geleden al aangifte deed. De foto's van zijn kinderen en de bekentenis dat hij ze heeft verkracht zorgt dat ik niet anders kan en niet anders wil.
Lekker. Yo. Was dat de jouwe? Of was dat een agressie? Beneden? Ja. Zo. Die denk ik. Oh ja.
Ik loop met hem mee richting zijn auto. Hij wil me eerst nog wat laten zien, voor we naar Duitsland vertrekken. Als we het parkeerterrein oplopen, haalt de Belgische pedofiel ineens een envelop uit zijn binnenzak.
Heb je dat niet gebruikt? Wie? Is mee te brengen? Oh ja.
Oh, gek.
Het zijn de kinderpornofoto's. Ditmaal om mijn collega te overtuigen dat hij toch echt pedofiel is.
Je hebt weer de foto's meegenomen.
Ja, gebruikt.
Ja, weet ik, maar ja.
Hij heeft een grote collectie meegenomen. En ik zie nieuwe, misselijkmakende beelden van zijn naakte kinderen, peuters, die in verschillende seksuele poses op zijn blote lichaam en geslacht zitten. En op het gezicht van Mark telkens weer die sardonische lach.
Poel naakt, hè? Leuk.
Nee, maar je hebt wat meegebracht.
Oh, kijk eens.
Mark laat me zien waarmee hij de 10-jarige Laura wil vastbinden.
Dat is een touwtje, hoor. Ik heb er ook dunner touwen, hè. Die zijn heel zacht, hoor.
Oh ja.
De achterbak ligt vol martelapparaten. Een macabere voorbode van wat hij van plan is met het kind Laura.
Oh ja. Ja. En wat nog meer?
Ik heb niet in de gaten dat er achter ons een auto stopt en even verderop 2 mannen in zwarte jassen op ons afkomen lopen.
Solve the problem. I believe I made the best decision I could.
Although I managed to relocate the girl to a different town, she was still controlled by an agent who wanted to sell her child.
When we already knew she was pregnant, I contacted my colleague, a well-known person in the criminal underworld, and simply told him I had a child for sale. I wanted to sell that child for spare parts, to a brothel, to pedophiles. I didn't give a fuck where it'd go. I just wanted to sell it and make money. So he said he'd help me.
What do you mean, to a brothel? Such small kids are used in brothels too?
Of course. It's pretty common in Germany.
Meaning?
Meaning, such small kids are first put up with a family that raises them until they turn 3 or 4, and then they're sent to a brothel.